I just found out Anthony Bourdain died, and I want to say a few words. I thought that there's a good chance I wouldn't be here if not for him. His shows are by far my favorite travel culinary shows. I think I spent months looking at his shows and wishing I could do something like that once in the future. And if I can kind of take what he did, reinvent it for social media, for the internet, and kind of make my living doing what he did on television. And I kind of succeeded in that field, in that I moved to a different country. I started doing a lot of videos about foods, travels.
Cześć, witam Was z Bali. Teraz w tej jakże malowniczej scenerii opowiem Wam trochę o kuchni indonezyjskiej.
And I wouldn't be doing that if not for Anthony Bourdain's shows. His mix of knowledge, sense of humor, coolness was always an inspiration to me. I will miss him. It's really sad for me. I want to say it because many of you might not know his shows. The most famous one is called No Reservations. It's just Anthony traveling the world and eating all sorts of local foods and drinking booze and doing cool stuff. It's the lifestyle I've always longed for. And I think up to now, No Reservations is one of the best shows on TV of all time. You guys should check it out. You should watch it. If you want to go somewhere, look up No Reservations and the place where you're going, a country. Say you're going to Thailand, to Bangkok. Just Google No Reservations Bangkok. You'll find a lot of amazing restaurants and food places. I've been to No Reservations recommended restaurants in many different countries, and I've basically never been disappointed. I'm just gonna continue my movie, my living here and my lifestyle now that would not be the same, or maybe I wouldn't even be here if not for No Reservations and Anthony Bourdain. So that's it. You will be missed. Good morning, everybody. It's almost 4 p.m. A little update on my things. I need to clean my room. That's very interesting. I'm still on keto diet. After a few days of almost wanting to quit, I kind of broke the barrier and it started to work. I became really energized. I'm ready to work from the time I wake up all the way to late evening hours. It's really good. I don't know how much of this is a placebo effect, obviously, but I'm happy so far. I don't want to stop. I've also been trying out this mushroom coffee mix. This is the thing that Tim Ferriss advertises. I think he's like an investor or a co-owner of this. It's pretty good. It wakes me up. Lights up the head. Kasia is in Korea right now doing the location scouting for the show we were working on. I didn't go because I'm not that great at customer service. She's much better at talking to people than I am. I'm more of a camera type of person. I'd rather talk to the camera than to a human being. I think this is true for most YouTubers. I just realized that's crazy. Thanks to everybody who's being supportive of this English speaking experiment of mine. I'm trying my best. I'm pushing myself every single day to be a bit more natural, but this is obviously something that can't be forced. Not so much thank you to all the people who are trying to discourage me. I understand if you don't like it. I get it. You watch this channel, you're used to videos being in Polish and stuff like that. That's fine. You don't like it. But if you're offended by it on the ground of just me disrespecting my Polish audience, then I'm sorry, but this is just stupid. I've made literally thousands of videos in Polish, and I just want to play around. Just give me a break. This experiment is pretty interesting, though. I feel like I'm having a fresh start again. I haven't felt like I'm a rookie at talking to camera for years now, because I just do it a lot. I'm not saying I'm good at it in Polish. I'm saying I do it a lot. I do have a lot of experience. You can't really argue with that. Everybody seems to be buying Ronin S, these days, the new gimbal from DJI. I don't have it, but I have this guy, KMTV Optimus, this is called. I'm happy with the product, but I hate the company KMTV. I can't recommend their products are just so unreliable. Every single product I've had, and I've owned maybe 3 or 4, has broken after 3 or 4 months of use, and then servicing them takes forever. And also you have to pay some kind of import-export tax because their headquarters is in China, and when you send something then you have to pay like $50 or something. It's crazy that they make you pay that. KMTV, I don't like you. But the products themselves, they're pretty good as long as they work. So I decided, since I have an extra gimbal and a Lumix GH5S laying around, I'm just gonna have this as my vlog B camera, because in Polish we say jebać biedę, which means respect what you have. Okay, so speaking of broken gimbals, my Ronin is broken. So it's not like DJI is never to blame. It's... Jesus Christ. I haven't used a gimbal in a while. Gimbals are nice. Now everybody seems to be using a gimbal. Over 2 years ago, first episode of my daily vlog, I was using a one-hand gimbal. Remember that?
Mam wrażenie, że za pół roku wszyscy poważni vlogerzy będą używać tego, czego ja teraz używam.
I think I was the first person in the world to ever use a gimbal. It's true, by the way.
Więc zapamiętajcie, gdzie to widzieliście pierwszy raz.
The thing about gimbals is they slow you down a lot. Your reaction time of the camera is much slower compared to just using a Joby. Because with the Joby it's like, it can be very organic, intuitive. With a gimbal it always takes about 5 to 10 seconds to set the camera up, and it's often too long, and often it's just people notice you when you do that, so you're kind of disturbing the moment. And I guess the idea of filming is just to capture the moment sometimes, right? Gimbals are not the greatest devices for vlogging, because once you have a gimbal on, you're using a gimbal for the foreseeable future. If you suddenly see something interesting that you want to film, a gimbal is it's like having handcuffs. Yeah, on top of that, with an amazing camera like the GH5 and its amazing autofocus, filming with no flip screen, it's just so easy and satisfying. That was the autofocus of Lumix GH5 in the face recognition mode. If you're considering getting a gimbal, you might think there are so many cool things you can do with it, and you can be so creative with it. It's not really true. There are only so many types of shots that you can take with a gimbal, and then from there everything starts to get really repetitive. At some point after buying a gimbal, you'll be relieved to take it off, and you'll find it more satisfying to just take handheld shots or Joby shots. And then there's the obvious downside. Gimbal runs out of batteries. One more charger at your house, a few more batteries, and one thing to remember every single day if you're daily vlogging. Well, to wrap it up, I'm not hating. If you like gimbals, if you like the effect, then get it. I just want to address this since a lot of people now are talking about the Ronin S, and everybody seems to be getting excited about one-handed gimbals. It's a cool device. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, if you get it, then be mindful of the downsides. I did some fancy shopping in a fancy Japanese supermarket. You know it's fancy because there's a lot of older Japanese ladies who look very rich. That's how you know. I got something for you guys. I didn't get it for myself, I got it for you guys. Actually, I got it to prove a point. Japanese prices, right? Amazing shrimps. Shrimps? 350 yen. So about $3. Cheap, right? Cauliflower. 500 yen. What? I think in Poland this would be like 50 cents at best, and this would be like $5. By the way, this is how my message to Kasia looks. Do you think shrimps would be better from the opiekacz or from the frying pan na masełku? I'm gonna go for a run. I haven't been doing much running recently because excuses, basically. I'm also not sure how this is supposed to work with the keto diet and running because carbs fuel running, right? You eat carbs before running. In theory, on ketogenic diet, you burn fat instead of carbs, so it should work, but apparently the science says that it's not that great for runners. You can burn some extra fat probably, but you're gonna feel like shit while this is happening. Well, let's test it out. I do not recommend running on keto diet. I only ran 5k and I'm completely out of fuel. Oh man, I feel as if I was hit with a club. Feels kind of good though. This is my keto kitchen for today. Shrimps, cream cheese, salmon, fatty salmon, goat cheese, sour cream, radishes. Yeah. And of course everybody's favorite, the broccoli. I do eat quite a lot. To top this episode off, I would like to bring a quote. If you don't eat the entire shrimp's head, you can't be my friend. It was said by Anthony Bourdain in the No Reservations episode in Portugal, Lisbon. I remember seeing it and thinking to myself, from this moment on, I'm always gonna eat the shrimp's head because it is really the best part. And I've done that ever since. And it's just one of many, many examples of how his work impacted me. It is the best part.
It's like the best sauce.
A lot of people find gross, but
Basically, if you don't like what's inside a shrimp head, I can't be your friend.